Yo, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of my Football Manager series. This is episode number 6, and today we're returning with two big games at home to Brentford and away against Crystal Palace. Before we get to the games though, shout out to Sherry's been getting on off camera. So of course, in the last episode you saw a heavy 3-0 loss away against Newcastle with a fantastic bounce back 5-3 win over Aston Villa at the Vitality. 4 games in a run off camera, and I have to say now our chance of making Europe has taken, I would say, probably, if not the knockout blow, then we're on the ropes, let's just say that. We began with 2-2 draw at Arsenal, and this is really where it all started to go wrong for us. We were 2-0 up in this game. Dominic Solanke had bagged the brace, and I was thinking, if we can pull this off, yet another scout, back-to-back wins over Arsenal this season, why can't we be in Europe next year? But we absolutely capitulated right at the end. Bournemouth fans thinking deja vu. Emile Smith-Rowe got the Gunners back in the game, and in his stoppage time, Eddie Nketiah levelled it. So whilst they didn't win the game like in real life in stoppage time, they did get a point from 2-0 down. And after that, it all just sort of went wrong. Following that, goalless draw away against Nottingham Forest, basically already down at this point. So that's a really poor result, no matter how you look at it. And then back-to-back losses. First at home to Wolves. Once again, another game we were leading and ended up throwing it away. I'd love to see the stats on this season, how many points we've dropped from leading positions, because it is a lot. Wolves won it by 2-1. Lerma heading into Tavernier, free kick goes to leave, but Ruben Neves right after the restart, and then the veteran João Moutinho combined as Wolves won this game 2-1 in the second half. And our final game was a whimper of a 1-0 loss away against West Ham at the London Stadium. Scamacca heading in an early corner as West Ham got a very, very easy win. I always say this, like, if you lose a game and you've been thrashed, okay, fair enough. Maybe you're not up to the standard of your opponent. If you lose a game where you played well, you just haven't had a rub of the green, okay, fair enough. One of those things, that's football. But if you lose a game and you just not put up any sort of fight whatsoever, that is unacceptable. So because of that, poor run of form for Bournemouth, worst run of form of the season, really. We now drop down into the bottom half of the table, and as you'll see, we know someone will be playing European football next year. That is Arsenal. That is because they won the Carabao Cup to beat Chelsea in the final. Where are we here? There we are, 2-0. And yeah, the Gunners are going to be in the Europa Conference League at a minimum next year. So that means that now only the top 6 qualify for Europe, not the top 7. So any chance of making it now is looking quite unlikely. So with that in mind, it all becomes about surviving now and making sure we don't get dragged into a relegation scrap in the final 11 games of the season. Again, we could still pull this off, but I would say really with 11 games to go, we've got to win at least 7, and that is going to be very tough for an inconsistent Bournemouth team. Right now, heading to the first game, obviously this episode, it's Brentford at home, just one player is down, that is of course Lewis Cook with those knee ligaments. I've got to say, man, like that has been a major blow. We've only won 1 game since he's gone down. That kind of says it all, really. And heading into the game, I've changed my tactics. Yep, heading into the game, I'm going to try and confuse Brentford for this game, but more likely I'll confuse my own players. Going over 5-3-2, counter-attacking style of play. We're constantly leaking goals, so I've got to think we've got to shore up our back line somehow. You know, play a little bit more defensive. We're going to lower our defensive line down, drop off more as well, and then as soon as we get the ball back with a low press, get on the counter as quick as possible. Try and run at the defence and play up the other side of the pitch with quick passes. Let's see if that works out or not. So this is our team. NATO's in goal. The back 5 is Tavernier at left wing back, Senesi, Kelly, and Metham, and Fredericks as well. Lerma will be our ball winner midfielder, Anchorman in the DM, ball midfielder, and the midfield duo will be Billing and Scott as well. Up top, Solanke and Ouattara. I'm going to try him as deep line forward because I just have not got on with this guy at all. Maybe I've been playing in the wrong position. Maybe he'd do better through the middle of the park as opposed to on the flank. On the bench, Randolph, Zabani, Vina, Smith, Rothwell, Traore, Brooks, Anthony, and Semenyo as well. First game in the Bees, going for a European place. Let's see, with our 5-3-2, if we can get at least a point here. Come with you, Cherries. So half an hour in, still goalless. As we look for the first proper chance of the game. Chris Metham, our wide to Ryan Fredericks, and now Alex Scott back to the wing back who beats Rico Henry and goes alone and scores. Ryan Fredericks! What a solo goal! I'd like to say he learned that at the den, but really it's just a poor first touch by Rico Henry, dribbles around him again and then smacks it in and past David Raya. Well, okay, Brentford behind, Bournemouth in front, first goal in a Bournemouth shirt, and that's not quite how I thought we'd get the goal today. But we have, and we lead. We just need to get to 40 points as Tavernier wins it back and whips one in, and oh! I'm sorry, Ouattara. I'm sorry. I've been playing him on the right and slating him after every single game. He's not an inside forward after all. He's a deep lying forward through the middle. Tavernier whips in another assist for Marcus, and Ouattara beats his man at the near post. Bournemouth 2 up, and that is what I wanted. Quick counter-attack. We win the ball back and get those goals. We lead by 2 at the break. So as things stand, I'll see us leapfrog Fulham, Arsenal, Wolves and Leicester and jump into the top 10 again. We'll be 8 points behind Chelsea and 13 behind Brentford, and we will have the game in hand on the Bees. What a result this is going to be, man. Honestly, change the tactics and look at that. We're going to win. This rarely happens for me. A tactical masterclass from Doxy Boy. What's going on here? Well. I changed things up and we had a change in fortune. Another clean sheet for NATO and the Cherries, and Bournemouth overcome Brentford. I'm buzzing with that. Absolutely buzzing. The first goal was a sensational solo strike, but the second goal is exactly what I wanted. As soon as we get the ball back, quickly go and attack and get ourselves another goal. So, European football, still possible. The annoying thing is that now we've got an international break, and I say this quite often, like the international break, you don't want it to come on the back of a win. You want it to come on the back of a loss. When you lose, you can go away, reset, forget all about it, because the next game comes in 2 weeks. By that point, you've forgotten what's happened in that last game. But when you win, you want to build on that, you know. It was our first win in 5 attempts. I want to play the next one now. Oh, I can't believe it. NATO's just been called up for the Brazil squad. Mate, what was all this about? I want to leave to get back in the Brazil squad. You've just got called up. You only had 1 cap in your entire career. That is so annoying. It's like, oh yeah, I need to leave to make sure I get in the Brazil squad again. You're in the Brazil squad now. You could have stayed. How are we going to replace King NATO, man? I have no idea. This guy has literally been incredible this year. In fact, is he now leading the way in the race to the Golden Glove? No, he's just behind De Gea and Edison as well. He's been incredible, man. I'm gutted. I knew we were going to lose him. When we went down, we'd lose him because we wouldn't be able to afford him in the Championship. Even if we stayed up, I knew we'd probably lose him. But I don't know how we replace him. Hey, just got me National B. I think I'll probably wait till the end of the season before doing the National A. But, yep, my attributes continue to go up very, very gradually. Good to see. I still haven't been offered a new contract by Bournemouth yet, which is surprising when you consider how well we've done above expectations in the Premier League this year. But I'm pretty sure towards the end of the season they'll give me a new deal. I'll be stunned if they say it's a one and done with this sort of season. Also, I think we are going to get a youth intake at some point today. It normally happens in late March or early April. And I've got to say, I haven't played FM for a couple of years now. But again, it normally is around this time. So we should see a new batch of young players. And the first new gens and regens appearing in the game today. I'm quite excited for that, I must say. Here we go, right on cue. So, the first youth intake of the save is here. Now, I'll be honest, if you're a new viewer to the channel, basically... Well, I was going to say don't expect much, because my youth intakes are normally about as useful as a chocolate teapot. But, 20 determination on a 16-year-old. Well, I'm already sold. Who's the other lad? John West. John West. Fresh from the fishing boats into the Bournemouth Academy. Not quite as exciting, but has very good potential, apparently. Well, that's all right. Those are our 2 best prospects, but that's already excited me, man. 20 determination. You know I love that. I love how it says this could be a so-called golden generation. I don't think so somehow. I don't think so. I mean, yeah, some of these players could be very good, but like for me, I say this a lot. Like my youth intakes are normally very bad, regardless of my facilities and my youth coaching and setup. It just never seems to be that great. But I mean, again, there are a couple of players I think could be really, really good there. But I wouldn't hold out much hope for the other ones. Normally, I say this quite a lot, but like if a youth player doesn't like jump out at you, then the chances are they're probably not going to succeed and become like a star for you. But he could be alright, to be fair. Technicals need a lot of work. He's got to get more physical as well, but he could be alright. The best 2 youth players I've ever had were Clinton Webster, who was part of my Millwall save. He was a right winger that also ended up playing for the England team as well. And also Sam Redmond, who was a ball-winning midfielder I had in my Swansea save with Wales. those are the only two that have ever done anything noteworthy for me. Like, I've never had another youth player that's like done really well. But yeah, you never know. I mean, a couple to keep your eyes on there. We certainly will. Hey, and right on cue, mentioned it earlier that we were waiting for a new contract, and here it is. So, yeah, up the board. Not too happy with a couple of losses there, but come on, lads, bigger picture. We got an outside shot qualifying for Europe, so yeah, buzzing with that. And yeah, give me that new deal, boys. Give me that new deal. Extra 10 grand a week, please. I'm going to try and possibly ask if I can get 3 years, but normally, like, I don't know whether you guys are the same, but like new contracts, you can never seem to negotiate the length. But 2 years is fine. 2 years is totally fine. I'll take that. Thanks very much, guys. I'm staying here for the long term. Alright then, let's do it. Second and final game today is indeed Crystal Palace away at Selhurst, part down the bottom of the table. I'll definitely say if we win this game here, then there's no doubt about it. We are going to stay in the Premier League for another year, and we certainly won't get dragged into a relegation scrap. So heading into the game, I'm going to say with the same tactic. I mean, it worked in the previous game against Brentford, so why not away as well? So once again, it's going to be our 5-3-2 counter-attacking style, and this is our team. Same lineup, let's hope for the same result. Nato in goal, back five with Tavernier, Senesi, Kelly, Meth and Fredericks, Lerman the border midfielder, and Billingham Scott through the middle. Solanke, and now Uatara finally off the mark up top, and on the bench Randolph, Zavani, Vigna, Smith, Rothwell, Traore, Brooks, Anthony, and Semenyo as well. Second and final game, Crystal Palace away. Let's keep ourselves in the hunt for a European place. Come on, you cherries. Did Nato get another cap, by the way? No, he didn't. Well, that was a waste of time then, wasn't it, bruv? Should have stayed with us. Should have stayed with us. You should be staying with us. I'm livid. I'm absolutely livid. And I can't stay at Bournemouth. Brazil won't pick me. They don't pick you anyway, and the one time they do, you don't even play. Just stay here. Like, seriously, man. I need you. I don't know how we're going to cope next year. Senesi could be going off here as well. Is that straight red? I think it might be. It is. Come on, mate. Can't be doing that. That's poor. I'd be absolutely shocked if we can get something from this game. Oh, that's not a red. Oh, my God. Surely they're going to take the lead, not before long. I mean, this is going to be a real test for us to try and claim a point from here. What is going on? 2 red cards and our penalty. Rob Jones, you sleep in Crystal Palace pyjamas. What is this? Absolute joke. Come on, King Nato. You saved some penalties this time this season, but not going to save that one. Odds on Edouard gives him the lead. It was coming, but right before the break, dodgy penalty. Ridiculous. Well, any chance of making Europe, I would say, is completely gone now. And as odds on Edouard gets his second, I think now for the rest of the season is about how high can we finish. I mean, let's be honest here. We shouldn't even be where we are, man. We shouldn't even be where we are. Bournemouth, outside shot of Europe. No one would have given us that chance to start the season. Absolutely no one. So, yeah, I'm satisfied regardless of what happens between now and the end of the season. As long as you don't completely bottle it and get dragged into a relegation zone. And Edouard's made it 3. God damn. Come on, boys. Play with a bit of pride. Well, that was disappointing. Put ourselves in a deep hole early on into the game with those 2 silly red cards, and yeah, let's be honest here, we were always going to lose that game. That's frustrating, man. Individual errors cost us in that game there. So annoying. Does anyone ever appear in Football Manager? Because I swear it just never works. There's no point. Like, I swear, like, I don't think I've ever had an incident overturned. Ever. Right, boys, that'll do it for today's episode. So big thank you for watching. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you had, then please do drop a like. I'd probably say now any chance of making Europe is about as likely as me securing a date with Megan Thee Stallion. So I think we'll probably just end the season now, hoping to stay away from the bottom 3 as far as we can and try and have an outside shot of finishing in the top 10. We'll do 2 more episodes then. Let's come back with Manchester United and Spurs, or maybe Everton and Manchester United actually. And then the final 2 games directly afterwards. So 2 more episodes to go. We'll definitely have Manchester United in the next one, but either Everton or Spurs. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for the next episode of the Football Manager series very soon.